Okay, there we go. Fucking hell, man. Everything has to go wrong, right? Everything has to go fucking wrong today. So, let me begin. Let me begin once again, and I'm gonna be very clear with you guys. This fucking team is just killing me from the inside. Because imagine working your ass off every day trying to do something for that you support. No passion, no any link, no anything. I just feel like I'm cheated on. Because you try, you give, and for every one of you, bro, for every one of you again, it will happen the same. For most of you, that is gonna be the same case because you try, you give compassion, and you get nothing in return. You show yourself to support a team, and you get nothing in return. It's humiliating. It's not sad. It's not angry. It's disappointing. It really is disappointing. Because I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I cannot shout to this TV and be like the first time that we lost against Roma, the first time we lost against Liverpool. This is just hilarious. It's a history that is being written from now on. And as soon as these players, which are just, I don't know which complex do they have, but complacency is certainly one of them, that they have to realize in themselves that they can no longer compete at this level. I said it on Twitter out there, guys, for you. Busquets can no longer play any single minute of UCL. This has to be Sergio Busquets' last game ever with a shirt of Barcelona in a Champions League match. This 100% certain that has to be the case. Piqué, this proves the power that these players have in the dressing room, and the manager as well. A manager that I praised, I gave my all to him, and he just flops once again because it was up to him to take the decisions that really come into fruition. You have the chance to play this youngster in Mingueza. It's not gonna be, it's not gonna change anything. But what matters is the message that you sent across. Piqué just comes in from injury, 86 days. And you know what? 86 days. And nothing can change. Nothing can change. He just comes in and he gets his starting position right away. That is something that I do not agree with. That simply cannot happen. Where is the manager in the team? Where is the boss? Are you in charge? Because that's not really the case. And then we have to also mention just simply how, for me, the worst thing of it all is that what Barcelona does in games like this is to play to the disadvantages of their own players. So we have our disadvantages. What are they? We cannot track back. We cannot close in space. Busquets is just a pile of trash, and then Piqué doesn't run anymore. So when we have this happening, what do we do? Well, what Koeman had tried to do in this game against PSG is to make sure that Griezmann plays as a left back and to make sure that Belé is also joining in defense, which is fine. You know what? They have to contribute. But most of the time, we're in a solid block trying to withstand the attack from PSG. And that is going to be not only I don't know how you say it in English. That's not only going to kind of tear you down. That's not going to make you like more tired. But the fact of it all is that then eventually when you have to go blow for blow, when you have to get the goal, you don't have the energy to even try to do that, to not even get close to doing that. And that for me is the biggest problem. Instead of trying to make Busquets, to make Piqué work, why don't you try other things? Why don't you go out there and get Ricky Puig? Why don't you try out there and just play with Mingueza? Just fuck it, go with Mingueza. Play with what you already had been doing in the previous past, because with this team, we haven't won so far. This is the first time this team has lined up on the field. It's honestly hilarious. It really, really is. I know injuries has a very big part to doing this, but you don't forget about the past. Why is it so hard for a human being to let go of what they knew? Why is it so hard? Why? I do not understand why the fuck is it because probably I'm very crude and whenever I have a friend I'll tell them just what I think. Is that my problem? Because in reality that is something that Barcelona doesn't have. They don't have a single strong man in that dressing room that can go out there and say, you know what, Piqué, you cannot play anymore. The problem is because they are the man that they should be talking. They are the problem. They have to realize that they can no longer play anymore. I remember when Piqué came out there, right? And he talked about the fact that he will be the first person to leave, the first person to assimilate that this club needs changes. So if that's the case, then why are you not changing your mentality? And yes, I understand. He wanna place this game, right? He wanna place in the round 16 of the Champions League first leg at home. Of course, he wants to do it. But then it's up to Ronald Koeman to be the strong man in that team and say, you know what, Piqué, you can't anymore. And to Busquets, we saw against Sevilla that Busquets defending in a system like this against a proper team is not enough. It's not enough. And Koeman just insisted in doing it. I mean, one thing is Youssef El Nesiri. The other one is Kylian Mbappe. And yeah, I'll be honest, the Mbappe hype train is kind of hard to follow when you just see him playing in Ligue 1. But when he comes in and plays like this performance against Barcelona, hat-trick in the Camp Nou, you just have to go and admire, because I don't think there's a single defense that can stop this man. I do not really think. But when you have such bad defense here and such good attack at the other, then you get a result like this. And this is just Mbappe. That's the thing. That's the worrying part. It was just Mbappe. Single-handedly, Mbappe and Verratti dominated this game. I have some stats for you guys. But before, let's read the super chat, because oh my god, the chat is going crazy right now. So Tarek Yunus with the donation, dude. You don't have to donate in times like this. Save that money, get some pay-per-view, and watch other games, because honestly, that is what we need. So Tarek, you say it's sad to see Barca going through this terrible spell in the UCL for the last couple of years now. Today games prove that there is still a lot of work that needs to be done. These kids have to gel, and we need to do it better. I agree with you 100%. Like, problems like this, the only way to find a solution to this problem is not a player, it's not a system. It's time. You need this new generation to come through and just click, like you're saying there in your comment. And yes, they need a proper man to lead them, a proper coach, and that is honestly going to help, of course. But the problem is that Barcelona are being their own worst enemy, because they're hindering that progression. They're not letting this club evolve. They're not reaching new heights. And that is the problem with everything here. You have Busquets, you have Piqué still starting. Piqué and Busquets started the 2011 final. 2011 final. And 2009, in fact. 2009? I don't think Busquets started 2009, but 2011. You know what I mean? So 10 years later, a decade later, they're still playing. They're still part of the starting 11. And we expect them to be at their very best. That makes zero sense. That makes proper zero sense. And the worst part of it all is that not only are they starting here, but they're starting after an 8-2 defeat. When an 8-2 defeat happens, you probably change at least more than 50% of your team. And Barcelona only changed, what, 1, 2, 3... No, 2. They changed Pedri, that was before there for Rakitic or Arturo Vidal. Then they changed Dembele, and that's 2 positions, and they changed the right back. We changed 3 positions. After an 8-2 defeat, we changed 3 positions. How the fuck is that enough? How the fuck do you have someone that realizes that this is a problem? And you know what the worst thing of it all is? That the culprit of this entire disaster is not even in the club anymore. Bartomeu managed to, once again, single-handedly created a monster of chaos. But not in the positive sense, in the negative one, and the very negative one. He's not even part of this club anymore. He has gone so far down. He has corrupted this club to its core. And it's so hard. It's so fucking hard to even try to assimilate that there's a way to turn it around. It's just time, guys. It's just time. And this is where the real fans are gonna show up. This is where the proper fans who actually support this club and don't just care about the trophies, they can come out and actually support this team. Because that is what we need. We need proper teammates, proper fans, proper managerial persons that actually understand what this club needs. So indeed, if you're asking me who has to win a presidential election, it doesn't really matter, because I think change is going to be positive, but Laporta is really the man really here, and there's no way to say it easier. So it's so dumb. It's humiliating, it's disastrous, it's everything, and it affects us all in a certain level. For us, some more than others. For the neutrals, it's just incredible, and I don't really know what to say. There is proof in this team that there can be more complete. There's proof in this team that there's more potential. But in reality, we have to let this dog die. We just have to put him down. And with that, I mean the golden generation. I mean, Busquets, leave. Like, honestly, you have to leave. Piqué, the very same thing as well. And the worst of it all is that we have a second leg to play. So this can potentially get all the way up to 10 in aggregate. That is humiliating. So gear up, guys, because it's not gonna be easy, and they have to leave. I do not understand how you have the guts and the audacity to still stay in a club. I make such a worse job. If I ever did a bad thing like that, like horrendous, where literally my professionalism is questioned, I don't understand how I wouldn't just back down from it. I would have. I think there's just this love to the club, right? That they want to prove everything right, but sometimes you just have to let it go. Honestly, you just have to learn and let it go. And Barcelona, once again, they do not know how to do that. You just have to learn to let it go. It's humiliating. It's humiliating because everybody else laughs. Everybody else knows what's the problem. And we know what's the problem. Everybody knows what's the fucking problem. But the people inside the club, and most importantly, the players themselves, they do not know the problem. And that, for me, is the most worrying fucking thing. It really is. It's really is. I do not get it. I do not get it. So let's reach these super chats. They just go so fast. I don't see them from the get-go. So sorry about that. First of all, we have Low Hater saying Mbappe is what Mbele should be when we learn those old players can't do it anymore. This team is just so frustrating to watch. I'm just fed up. I know, man. I know. I mean, the Dembele Mbappe comparison is gonna stem very, very far, very, very deep, and I get that. It's surprising how Barca had a chance to sign Mbappe. Every single club had a chance to sign Mbappe. Like Real Madrid, even they had him in his freaking stadium, and they didn't even sign him. But yeah, it's worse, so bad. So Tarek again with another donation. Tarek, nah man, I support whether we're down or low, but Barca needs to fucking wake up, and sometime soon. I am very excited about the youngsters in the future, but for now we still have enough talent to do better. You know what's the problem, guys? And here I promise you this is gonna be the last thing before I move into your comments. The last thing that I want to mention for you guys is it's humiliating. Like, you can lose for one. You can lose games. You can lose. Do not ever think you cannot lose. The game is not about winning or losing, but it's about competing. And Barcelona is not competing. And that is the thing that pains me the most, because they are not competing. They are not giving their 100%. And every single time it comes to these instances, they choke. And they just get torn apart piece by piece. Do we even have a psychologist on site? That will be my first question, because I'm so worried. We are not competing. That is very worrying. We are not competing. The fact that we cannot even... There's not a chance. There's not a single game that we've lost, I think, in the last 4 years, where Barcelona can say a game that we lost, take that into account, game that we lost, that I could go, you know what, Barcelona deserves to win that. Not a single game. Every single time it's Barcelona deserves to lose, and for more than what they lost. So most of the times we've lost very gracefully. I think the only game we didn't deserve to lose was Cadiz, and that's it. And we're talking about Cadiz. So it just tells you the extent of the problems going on in this club, and we got to a turning point where it actually saw us be more competitive in a way. But hopefully this can wake up the team, because Koeman was doing a great job in rejuvenating the side. But then we came to a halt, to just a standby, where he just prioritized back again having Busquets, and then the injuries all cropped up and he couldn't play the team that he wanted. So hopefully after this, Koeman can actually continue with his rebuild, because that is what needs to happen. He needs to continue with the rebuild, and he needs to be stricter. I think he has to be stricter. I think he got himself a little bit too carried away by the team and the dressing room, trying to be united and all of that, and he just wasn't continuing to be harsh enough, because he was very strict at the start of the season. It didn't pay off, but eventually we saw the results in games prior. Seven wins in a row, it's a good thing. But then after that, you have to continue to be strong. You have to be continuously strong, and Koeman isn't right now. Koeman really, really isn't. And the question that I want to tell for you guys now is that, do you think this season is over? Because in my opinion, it is. It is. I don't see us turning the books against Sevilla. I don't see the same thing happening in the Liga, and certainly not in the Champions League. I think it's done, and honestly, it's probably the best thing that could happen for Barcelona in a way, because they can focus on what's going to be coming next. They can focus on terminating the contract of Busquets, of Piqué. They can focus on but finding a way, giving Messi the decision. Messi, what do you want to do? You want to stay? You want to leave? If you want to leave, fine. I don't care. I don't really care. Because I just want this team to progress. And I think they can progress with Messi, yes. I think they can progress even without Messi. So I don't really mind. But the core of the problem isn't that. That's the worst part. The problem of the whole situation is not Messi. Is that this club is still trying to work for these sort of players, and they should just forget about that. The best Barcelona I seen this season was at the start of the year, where Messi was not the proper 9, where Messi wasn't the guy carrying the team. That is the best Barcelona I've seen. And we just forgot about that entirely. And just once again, finally, before reading your chat and getting into it, these are the stats of Messi in this game against PSG. 1 penalty, 0 assists, 0 key passes, 0 chance creations, 0 successful dribbles, 3 offsides, and 1 yellow card. That's insane. That's insane. It honestly insane. It's bad. It's bad. And it's bad. It's really, really bad. So yeah, let's get into your comments. You know what? Starting from Public Enemy, our moderator, how are you? We should not expect to win games anymore. It only ruins our mood and makes us so disappointed. We have to accept we are trash and we only win against mediocre teams. Get me Arsenal's patch, because that is what we are basically are right now. We will go down without Messi for a couple of seasons, but rebuilding is essential. I know, and that's the thing. We are stopping our rebuild. When you rebuild, you have to... It's so dumb. Just start from scratch. And this team doesn't know how to fucking do it. MX Jr., losing like this just reminded me of how good we were. Yeah, because PSG were solid. They were solid. And you could... For me, the moment where I was like, okay, this team are going to win, PSG, was simply Moiskin. Because Moiskin was playing out of position. And every time he got the ball, he won his dribble. He won his duel. And that is confidence. That is fucking confidence. This team doesn't have any confidence. How the fuck are you going to have confidence, dude? You're Barcelona. You have the best player in the world in your team. You need to have confidence. This side doesn't have it at all. Not even one bit. And that is the most worrying thing of it all. There's no confidence in this team. And if you don't have confidence, get the fuck out of my club. Get the fuck out of my club. Because I don't know how you... Rebuilding confidence is probably one of the hardest things you ever have to do. It's been 4 years now, and it's the worst I've seen. I think Barcelona's humiliation process is the worst that I've seen in a long time. We've reached the heights, guys. Barcelona has reached the heights of the best team in the world ever in the history. That is something that can never be taken away from Barcelona. The best team, the best 11 to ever play football was from Barcelona in 29 and in 29. And also the worst team to ever play football, or at this level. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The worst team, the most humiliating processes, the most humiliating results have to go to Barcelona. We've gone up and we've gone all the way down. And just when we think we're about to reach rock bottom, there's way more ground below. There is way more. Emmanuel Magdaleno Jr., hi, how are you? Buga, I don't know what to say. We were good in the first half, but showed bad signs of letting PSG get chances. All I'm looking forward is to fight and Rafa coming back. I'm in shock. I know. Those two players actually honestly make difference. They really do. And the thing is that I don't believe Barcelona play good in the first half. I don't think. I think Barcelona, like, withstand the attack. They managed to at least compete. Like I was saying, yeah, we at least managed to compete, but we were still getting overrun. And after that, the goal from Mbappé is pure quality. I don't think that is mistake from Ter Stegen. I don't think that's a mistake from Lenglet. I don't think that. I believe it's a process of just simply pure quality and pure talent, and that is something which Mbappé has in abundance. So I don't really get that. Pucci is so confident, but this man wouldn't play him. I know. How? I do not understand the decision to play Busquets. I don't. Bro, Busquets and Piqué, if you saw the game, and tell me guys if you saw this in the game. If you saw the game in the live, like in the live stream, in the coverage of the game, the cameras were pointing to Piqué and Busquets, because even the guy shooting, even the guy in the cameraman knew that those two needed to be accountable for. Busquets needs to be accounted for. He played trash. He played horrible today. Every single time I'll see Piqué in my team again, I'm going to be disgusted. I'll be honest. I'll be disgusted. There's no reason whatsoever that you can tell me that Piqué must stay. Not a single one. Not a single one. Piqué, Busquets, those two have to leave. Jordi Alba, can survive. One more year at least. But Piqué and Busquets, they can play for this team. Yeah, but they cannot start anymore. They can't. They simply can't. when Araujo and Banzo come back, do you think we can beat them 3-0? I mean, we can beat them 3-0, but that still wouldn't progress us through because they score 4 away goals. Four away goals. So if we want to win, we need 4-0. We have to win 4-0. I know, Brian, I know. Playing Busquets pisses me off. I know. Because the fact is that this Busquets, we've seen him from Valverde. So it means that Koeman doesn't even watch the game. That is for me the problem. Like, Busquets, he was a good player. Let him be that. Why do you have to retain and stay? Just let it fucking go, dude. Let it fucking go. Sign the divorce papers already. Let it fucking go. You're creating way more harm to your own team. And Koeman, at the end, was smiling. Because he just didn't want it to cry. That's a fact. Busquets and Piqué, I know. It's so... Dude, I'm expecting at least... we need one of these two players to come out to the press today or after the second leg and say they are done. Honestly. First time we see players retiring in mid-season. That is what we need to see. I agree, dude. That Real Madrid policy is so good. If you don't know what it is for the rest of you, this man Hose, great nickname, has just mentioned the Real Madrid policy for players over 30. So what they do to players over 30 is that they have to extend for 1 more year, but if they reduce their wages. That is a great policy because it means this thing. You propose the question, do you love this club? If you love it, then reduce your wages and move on. If you don't love it enough, then fuck it and leave. So, okay, super chats again because I just missed them. There are so many super chats. Okay, so we got Sam with $10. Thank you very much for the donation, Sam. And you say, Francisco Trincao impact was good. He's sprinting past 4 PSG players. Koeman is a clown. Playing a boy named Pedri against a big team. Dembele is not what he used to be 4 years ago. Trincao starts over Dembele. Trincao was good. He was proper. I think that the problem with it all was that he didn't come earlier and... And it's gonna sound so weird, but... Probably the player that gave us less in attack during the first half was Messi. He probably was the player who gave us less. Because Griezmann defended, he gave us that. Pedri defends and covers up for Jordi Alba and whatnot, so he does that. Dembele tracks back and defends as well and can use his space to attack, but Messi didn't give us much. If this was my fucking career mode, I would substitute Messi off. I would have, but... This is real life, right? And then the other super chat was from Sumava Ghosh and saying, Hi Buga, what do you think is the solution to this team? Dude, I would love to have that answer. But I believe, from my humble opinion, as a football fan and someone who studies football for 2 years now, which is not much. But I feel... it's time, because it's time and letting go of these big players. Because, yeah, the fall is going to be bad. If you get rid of Messi, it's going to be bad because there are going to be games you're not going to win. You're going to draw way too many games. You're going to lose so many games. But you need to let go of this old guard, primarily Busquets and Piqué. Those two are gone, and I think there's more solutions to this problem. But it's time. It's time to build this confidence back again. And one day, Barcelona is going to win a game like this. One day, Barcelona will come through and we're going to win. One day, I'll make a preview to an important game and I'm not going to jinx us. One day, it's going to happen. And when that happens, then we start turning the page. We start, but we need to wait for that to happen. So how can we make sure we win one of these competitive games? Then we need to make sure we have the best team in our side, and the best team doesn't require those players that cannot even run anymore, because we cannot play to their disadvantages. Barcelona play to the disadvantages of their players. I cannot stress this enough. Barcelona looks at Busquets, looks at Piqué and says, you know what? This is what they're doing wrong. So how can we fix that? No, you cannot do that anymore. That is not football. You need to create a proper system. The last teams who have won the Champions League are system-based. Not fucking individualist. And Barcelona was system-based for the longest of times. And for whatever reason, they have decided to let that go. So my solution is to time and just get rid of these players. Then the next manager, as hard as it may be, has to terminate the contract of these two guys. Has to. We did it with Suarez. We did it with Vidal. We did it with Rakitic. Players who needed to go, but were probably higher up the list than these two, because they were given a second chance. We gave you the second chance, and you fucked it. So you know what? Fair game. You leave. That's how it works. We gave these three players, including Jordi Alba, a second chance, and they fucked it. They fucked it completely. So you have to go, if that's the case. You have to go. Messi said he's leaving. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that happened. Buga, is there really a rebuild or transition? I've heard someone says that the teams like Barca don't have transition stage. Even though, yeah, that's fucking dumb. There are transitions. Like even Laporta is gonna say the right things for his campaign. Fuck Laporta. That is false. There are transitions and rebuilds in this game. In everything, there are transitions and everything is rebuilt. Because not a single thing in this planet can remain constant. Not a single thing. But it's up to you, the person who is involved in that, the thing that's involved in that, to realize how to remedy these problems. And there are always transitions. The best team for me in the entire history of the sport, and Pep in this scenario as well includes there, is the Manchester United side of Sir Alex Ferguson and the Pep Guardiola from 29 to 2012, wherever he left. Those were the two teams that knew how to transition. Why? Because every season they'll make the transition. Every season they go, Rafa Marquez, okay, I'm gonna take you out, I'm gonna bring Mascherano. Oh, we wanna take out Carlitos Tevez, let's bring in who was after Tevez? Van Persie. So you keep changing up like that. You pieces by pieces you move and you move. Because this is the thing, guys. Think of it as this metaphor. You have a construction. You have a, how can I say this? You have a chair. Okay, you have a chair with 4 legs. A chair with 4 legs. You take one of those legs out, the chair doesn't fall. You take 2 of them out, it falls. So what you have to do is change one at a time to make sure the construction, the foundation that you've built hasn't fall. That is how you achieve things in football. And that is how I would manage a team. I would say, Suarez, you're not good anymore. Take him out and then already have my replacement, Lautaro. He might not be the best now, but he will be able to reach that level because the system still works. That is a problem that even, for instance, Jurgen Klopp is suffering right now at Liverpool. I mean, they won against Leipzig. I think they did. They won 2-0, right? If I'm not wrong. Let me just check it because I don't want to sound like a dum-dum. They won 2-0. Goals from Mane and Salah. So, yeah, I mean, they won their game. But what I mean is that these things, they happen. So you have to make sure to make a transition like this. Indeed. Reed Green says, when Messi leaves, we find a Haaland. What? When Messi leave with Fina but Haaland no biggie? I don't understand what that means. Adil Hamed, Koeman isn't that bad. One should blame Bartomeu for the shit house he ran in. I know, right? I know. The problem is not Koeman. If you have the audacity to blame this on Koeman, then get out of my live stream because you need to watch more football. Because this problem is not something from the manager itself. It isn't. It really isn't. You take out a good team. You put Bayern Munich in this game. Hansi Flick is not there. You put in a substitute coach. They win the game. Because it's system-based. Everybody in that dressing room know their solutions, know their positions. The worst thing that happened in this team and the thing that keeps me worried is that Koeman, and yeah, here's a little bit of blame on Koeman, but also the players. The way that they sought to defend Mbappe and to defend PSG was to be organized. Be organized to be in defense so that at least there was always one man kind of cautious of the player. That it was their strategy, right? You cannot defend like that because you need organization, you need a plan. We see how that is no longer a viable solution in football, and the teams that defend have a plan in place. They know exactly which player to mark. They know how to constantly fall into this defensive shape. Barcelona doesn't have that. Barcelona were defending by numbers, and that cannot help you if you don't have a plan. So that for me was very worrying because whilst PSG just had one moment of brilliance and they had plenty in this game, so The thing also is that PSG did a great game. PSG did a great game. Mbappe was insane. Verratti was also incredible. They, like I said at the start, single-handedly destroyed this team. They really did. PSG offered Mbappe and 60 mil for Coutinho when he was bought, believe it or not. I'm not too sure that happened. Warworm1234 is saying, why play Piqué? He was injured for 23 games. I know, right? And that's the thing. I do have to put blame on Koeman because he hasn't been proper. What do you call it? Strict enough. He was at the start of the year, but he wasn't anymore. So that is for me a problem that he has to fix in his own right, because there's no way that you can prove yourself to be a top manager if you don't feel you have the control in this team. You get that? So guys, yeah, continue on the chat. Let me know particularly about this. Do you think the season is over? I want to know that for you. Do you have hope, or do you think the season is over? What would you do if Mbappe goes to Real Madrid? Says Ogosa Iguodala. I mean, I hope Barcelona has some player to match that quality. I hope, but there's nothing we can do. Opinions on Verratti and Paredes today, says M.E.T.A. Islam. They were incredible because they were tracking every single player in our midfield. They were constantly, the players, timing the rhythm of the game. They were really good. I'm really surprised with Paredes, in fact, because I never really thought he could reach a level like this, and I am gladly surprised. It's a good surprise because it's a very good player, and Argentina will need a midfielder like that going in the future. But for Barcelona today, it has been bad. I think Marco Verratti, Leandro Paredes, proper team, proper players in a proper team. Sancho to Barca on a free makes a lot of sense. Can Sancho leave on a free? I don't think that. When Messi is gone, can we get Haaland? When Messi's salary has not been holded, we can use that money to negotiate Haaland. I guess that's something Barcelona could do. Manuel Magdaleno again, Buga, we need a world-class center back like Alaba, and we need to cut our losses with Piqué and Busquets. Please, we need that. Edison Forfar, please blame the players, not Koeman. Please, I subscribe to that convention. This is all on the players. This is all on the fucking players. Nothing on this. Maybe there's an issue with no president and no one who's controlling the club, says McDonald Benson. Yeah, but that is not really the case, because nothing the president would do at this time would impact this. This is mostly on the last president, as we know, and this is something that just needs time to heal. It's a wound that needs to heal. There's no better way of saying it. Kumar, we will go to Paris to visit, we'll go to Paris to win, not to visit. I mean, that is what we want. But I don't know if this team can do it. I don't believe in them anymore. I believe in them so much, and I just cannot believe in them anymore. That's how it is. Do you think about Eddie Garcia and the big no to his transfer could have been a step towards the rebuild? I know. I don't get the thing about Eddie Garcia, because he could have helped our team a lot in this way. I believe it's mostly a campaigning process that was done by Tony Fez and Laporta, and especially Laporta, because let's not be dumb. They care more about the candidacy than the actual club. That's real. And honestly, I do think the person Barcelona needs is more Font than Laporta. But I don't think Font is gonna win. So Laporta will take his chance at the candidacy, I guess. Rhythm Servati says, man, feels bad for Koeman. He left his great job at Netherlands and came to fix this broken club, and he's already getting shouted at. Let's give him some time and players he wants, man. I know Koeman is such a I think Koeman came in the right moment as well, but it's time. And Koeman is rowing upstream. He's swimming upstream. He really is, and we have to credit that. We really have to credit. Sorry about that. We really have to credit that. You jinx us in a Clásico. with your video did the same here, low F. I know, Dugal brothers, not only the Clásico, against Sevilla, against Real Madrid is a Clásico, against Juventus, against Bayern Munich, I also jinxed us. I jinxed Peru against Brazil in the final of the Copa America. Maybe you should terminate me. Maybe my contract should be terminated. Who knows? I don't think Koundé is a world-class center back either. I think their time, and this is for Samuel Chukwuemeka, I feel there's a lot more time to see of Koundé, because if you actually look at the start of Koundé, he's almost well positioned. So the thing about Koundé, the thing of why Koundé is such a good player, and this is something that I don't think this is the moment to say it, but Koundé is amazing because of his positioning. Very similar to like Müller, for instance, in attack. Müller and Koundé are players that are in the right position at the right time, so their job looks easier because they just have to do one or two things: score or defend, put their leg in, stuff like that. Koundé's numbers of tackles, Koundé's numbers of clearances, all of that are not that impressive. It's just he's always in the right time. And I agree, that is something that is great, but I don't think he is the... In the defense, there are two players. There's the A and there's the B. The A defender, the apex defender per se, and the beta player. I think Koundé is much more of the secondary player. He will be like the Mascherano to what Piqué was before, or the Piqué to Puyol. He'll be that sort of player. The Varane to Ramos. I think that is the thing. So I think Ronaldo Araujo is an A player, an apex center back. So that is good, and I want him to see develop. And Koundé will be that B player. I don't think Barcelona need a world-class player. I think they have it in their ranks in Araujo. I really do believe Araujo is top class. But yeah, if we need a B player, we need Koundé. Koundé will be the best thing for us. Everyone like the video, please. Everybody says what Marcil Orahami says. Who is CO? I have no idea who's CO. I don't know what you mean. Dark Hulk 05 HD. That's a hell of a name. Dembélé missed out on 2 easy chances and that handball in PSG box. Oh, okay, let's talk about that. You know what? There are two things about Dembélé. It's a deja vu, because this reminds me a lot of that game against Liverpool where Dembélé had the opportunity to just put 2 goals in the back of the net, and for whatever reason he flopped. That is something that I do feel Dembélé needs to be accounted for, because that was awful, that was shit, that was proper bad finishing, and I don't understand how can someone get away with that. And then we have the handball. The handball was a handball. There's no discussion. It was a handball. Why did VAR didn't take a look at it? I have no idea. Maybe Kuipers or Kuipers, however his fucking last name is pronounced, said like, oh no, the ball was too close, there's no way to react to that, or whatever. I don't care. That's a handball, and you have to give it. The same happened to Lenglet earlier this season, if you remember. Lenglet had a penalty given to him where it was a handball, and he just couldn't move, and it was in his hand, and whatever. That is it. And that should have been a handball. It was in. Yeah, it was in. His body was out, but his hand was in. It was a handball, and VAR should take a look at that. In a fucking world where we have drones that can go fucking invisible and go and scout out like military outposts, how the fuck do we have someone that can take a look at VR properly? How can we have a technology to see something in replay like this? How can the feed not be in the referee's eyes in the moment? Just get a fucking Google Glass for whatever fucking reason. Get that on. I don't get it. I really don't get it. That is something that, of course, is painful, because for every single club you want VR to go your way, and it has gone against Barcelona, it has gone in favor of Barcelona, but I don't care who it goes against. If it was a penalty to us, to Barcelona, sure. If it was a penalty against Barcelona as well, I'll be okay, but it has to work properly. It has to work properly. I'm watching right now Twitter, guys, for some quotes or something that I can pull out. I want to... Okay, there's a stat that says Kylian Mbappe has now scored in the Champions League goal at Etihad, at Anfield, at Old Trafford, Allianz Arena, at Signal Iduna Park, at Santiago Bernabeu, and a hat-trick at the Camp Nou. Mbappe is good. He's good. I think we just forget about how good he actually is because we don't see him that often. But once he makes the move to a big club, PSG are big, but you know what I mean. To a club where there's more traffic in the club. Yeah, I think we are gonna be totally see Mbappe's level skyrocket because right now he's good, but he can get a lot better, and that's the scary part of it. That's the scary part. I don't find anything, dude. I really don't find anything. I really don't find anything. Someone says remontada after this, but not for Barca, for PSG to make it 8-2. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 8-2, honestly. I really wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 8-2 by the end of the day. I wouldn't be. Back to you guys. Aminesh001 saying, I'm regretting the decision of why we have chosen the middle over Mbappe. We had a decision on choose Alphonso Davies, but hindsight is a beautiful thing. Public enemy again. If it's not Koeman's fault, then why did he use Picard knowing full well what's happened last year? Koeman is inconsistent, but you show us why we should hire him. Because there's nothing else. If you pick Umtiti, then the thing will be Umtiti makes mistakes. If you pick Mingueza, oh, he's not the like I get the Mingueza shout. Mingueza should have played, but we had nothing. We have nothing to put in. Use your brain of yours, please. There's nothing that Barcelona could have done. What would you have done? Put De Jong in center back and put Mingueza. Is that what you would have done? There's nothing else that we could have done. Nothing else. The problem for me is overall. Piqué should have understood that he needs to leave. The one shout for me is the Piqué Mingueza one. The Lenglet one, I don't care because there's nothing we could have done. If it's not Lenglet, it's Umtiti, and that's it. They should give Dembélé the number 10 Messi role. I think Dembélé should play more as a center forward. I think he can if he builds more confidence and just becomes stronger and all of that later. I think he'll be very deadly through the middle. Sort of what Ansu Fati can also be. Florenzi outside, Koeman out. We should get to the ball back. Public enemy agreed. Trust channel. Florenzi outside. Piqué was our captain today. Piqué out. That's the one thing that Piqué brings is the shouting and the moving the team around. That's the only one thing that Piqué brings. How can we get out of this position when the club is practically bankrupt and La Masia has become infamous under Bartomeu's lack of leadership and lack of trust to the youth? It's just returned back to the old days, honestly. Barcelona weren't a rich club to begin with, and that is where we need to go back. Piqué and Mingueza would have been better. Even Umtiti is better than Lenglet. I mean, that's the thing, public enemy. We say that in hindsight. What would you have said after the results against, after the mistakes of Umtiti against Sevilla? It's the same thing. It's just a loop. The solution, stop looking at that for the solution. The solution is not there. The solution is not fucking there. So don't look there anymore. It's not there. The solution is further forward and it's something that we cannot grasp right now. Koeman needs to and I do agree with you on that one. Koeman should have known how to remedy this, so at least make us competitive for some short while. That is something that Koeman should have done. And he hasn't. He hasn't done it. So yeah, I agree with you. That is something that we should have done better. Mentality monster, says Kevin Akmar. I know, right? It's so dumb because, like I said at the start, you give this faith to this team and then it's hard to come back. But honestly, I don't feel ashamed of it because so many people are pancakes in this world where they just say one thing and they don't take responsibility and accountable for. And if I'm just not being accountable for, who am I being? Busquets? I don't want to be Busquets. I don't want to be that sort of person. Koeman, I'm not gonna lie to you. With a score of 1-4, it's hard to come back, especially since we lost at home. I know. The substitutions of Koeman is something that we must also account to him because when you have the ability to make impacts and make substitutes and make some sort of reaction, like you say there, you don't take it. That is horrendous. And if you see the game, Koeman at the end of the day, we ended up playing only two center backs. two center backs. No, one center back. Barcelona end up playing with one center back in Lenglet. And when we put Braithwaite, we put Pjanic, we put Ricky, we put Trincao. We put all of those players in. Koeman knew that the Champions League was over here, and it is over here. It is. It is. That is for me why the season is over, because the Champions League is over. For me, the league is over. The Copa del Rey, miracle, but that's it. Messi has to go, and everyone has to be okay with it. I agree. Would you dare to tempt Alaba to join us? I don't think Alaba is what we need. I don't think it's what we need. Piqué has to go. Richards, of course he has to go. Messi is going to leave. He has to. At this point, Piqué with his shouting skills should replace Koeman as manager. That's a gold comment. Top some song saying Piqué and Busi are destroying their legacy if they continue to play for the team. I know, and that's the worrier part. They don't realize that. They don't realize they're doing more harm than good, because people always stick to the bad things and never remember the good things, because it's way easier to get a reaction when you're negative, and that is something that they must understand. That is kind of true. Armiro de Mena says Messi needs to go because his contract is too big. He doesn't like playing here. Him leaving clears the half of our debt. I do feel that Messi has to leave. It sounds weird, but I've always kind of in the inside thought about it because for instance, whenever I do a career mode, I know I'm using this comment again, but it's like whenever I play with Barcelona, the first thing that I do is one season and then I get rid of Messi. Because there's not much that Messi can give you anymore. Of course, he's going to give you the goals, the assists. But in terms of what the team actually needs is to realize they are a team again. Because right now they are so fixated on the situation of Messi and so fixated in trying to make it work that the best solution is just to forgive about it. It really is. If Barcelona forfeit the game, it honestly would be better. I mean, there's comeback, but we could forfeit again. Toby Fella says the season is done, honestly. We should just work on giving all our youth all the games now and have them develop so we can know what positions we have to strengthen in the summer. I agree with you. In La Liga, in all of that, we have to just give these youngsters more chances. Messi to City, if they get Haaland too, would be crazy. I think Messi will end up at... Look, if PSG get to the semi-finals of the Champions League, I think Messi will go to PSG because he sees there's a chance to do it there. But City makes the more sense in my opinion. I think it's the easier for him. Busquets shouldn't start anymore, I know. Buga, do you see Liverpool's win? No, I'm going to see it now after we do this live stream. I understand why Xavi and Iniesta left. It's because of their love. Piqué, Busquets don't love Barca. That's the thing. Piqué and Iniesta knew when to leave. And Piqué and Busquets don't. I am very sad because of it. Malik enemy. I think a lot of people behind closed doors actually think Messi should leave, but they don't say this other people because they're scared people judge them. I agree with you. That is something that I'm going to pin to the wall here. I like the comment. I like the comment a lot, Public Enemy. I really, really do. I'm going to ping it in the live stream. Where are you? Where are you? Dude, this chat is so slow. There's so many fucking comments. Where is it? I don't see it. Okay, forget about it. Dude, it's so fast. Maureen Hars is saying, your opinion about Koeman reactivity in game, Buga, reading the game substitutes. He's been good in some times, but I think he's just been god awful in others. And I honestly don't get it. I honestly don't. I think he gets carried away by the situation and thinking that the good players are still good when that really isn't the case. Do you think 8744 says, Buga, do you think PSG were really good, or they're just because they how Barca were. I think they were good. I think they weren't mind blowing. I think they were good. But Barca makes it so easy for them. I don't get it. Barca can play good games, but today it's like they come to lose. Barcelona come to them with the mentality that they're gonna lose, and that is horrendous. What has Messi has to do with this? I'll answer that question. You know what? To Panonsman07, what has Messi got to do with our shit defense? Because I'll let you know. Defending is not about just your center backs, your fullbacks. It's about your collective, how you prepare your entire team to defend collectively and how they set up. That's how defending works. And if we don't have a proper system in place, that is the fault of the manager. And why the manager cannot put the system in place? Because he has to work for the deficiency of our big name players, like Busquets, Piqué, and Messi. Busquets and Piqué, we take them out and we bring new players in, perhaps could be better, could work. We could reach a certain consistency and allow Messi to be there. That is fine. I agree with that. But what Messi does is that he has such power mentally and what he attracts that it doesn't let the others do their work properly. It really, really doesn't. And until we get rid of that and that hold and just let it go, Barcelona will be better. The sooner they'll be better in no time. That's what I think with it. All scores are hunting me down. I know, dude. I don't get it. How can you not react? It's happening to you. It's like, you know what? It's like a guy who has a girlfriend and the girlfriend cheats on the guy. Or the guy cheats on the girlfriend, whatever. The girlfriend cheats on the guy, and then he goes and says, you know what? Sorry. I know the time we went in vacations to Roma, you cheated on me, but I forgive you. You know what? I forgive you. And the girl goes like, okay, I'll try my best. I'll do my best. Then you go to vacation to Liverpool, and then she cheats on you again, and you go, oh, okay, I promise it'll be the last time that I'll forgive you. Huh? It's the last time I'll forgive you. And then the girlfriend goes like, okay, it's the last time I'll ever do this. I promise. I'll try my hardest to not cheat on you. Then you go to Lisbon. And then in Portugal, he hands out and cheats on you in plain sight. You found the two of them in your own bed with a German dude. That's what she does. She goes to Lisbon in your vacation and she's fucking a German dude in your own bed. And she goes, I promise this is the last straw. You don't have to arrest me again. If you tell me to leave, I'll fucking leave. You know what? If you tell me to leave, I'll fucking leave. And then you go ahead, and then this time it's even worse. Because you're not on vacation. It's not a moment where you are out of control. It's in your own house. You return from a hard day of work. You open the door in your own house, and there's your bitch. There's your fucking girlfriend fucking this French dude. In your own place. Not in vacation, not somewhere else, in your own city. In your own house, in your own apartment. That is what happened with Barcelona. It's the worst. It's a fucking worst. It really is. And I cannot take it. I cannot take it. Did it actually happen to you, says Neil Matani? No. No. I've never had a girlfriend to cheat on me. But I've had some flings in vacation. That's where I can take my inspiration from. Converse Football, Koeman should really try the young in CDM, mate. I know, dude. In a 4-3-3, I think the young could improve. Do you think that the amount of games time Pedri is getting this season has turned against him? Yeah, that is something that I do agree with you, Adil Hamed. I think that's really the case. Dembu Fati Trincao is a proper forward line. Grisi should drop to us. Okay, I agree with your comment, Dominic Francois. For the most of your entire comment, I agree. But the thing of Grisi being at CDM, I don't get that. No. That ain't gonna be happening on my watch. And in terms of the right backs, the defender, I think Emerson should play. I think he's really good. I think Araujo should play. I think we should get another center back in. And and then another one, I think. Another left back. Tú eres peruano, you are the cheater. Ask my friends, dude. Yes, Dest was crying. I think Dest was such... I think Dest was... He needs time. That's the problem. He's never been able to stop. He will never be able to stop, you know? There's this tweet that I wanna check. This is bad. This is bad, guys. There's a tweet. I want to go everyone to check this tweet now. Where's the fucking tweet? This tweet from Phoenix. Everybody go now and check that tweet on the live stream. It's massive because PK is shouting. Everybody is shouting to everyone, like in general, it's shouting. Not a single time in possession, not a single fucking time in possession. We don't have a single moment in possession in this game. Fuck it. And then Griezmann is saying to Piqué, calm down, stop yelling, your mother, whatever. And Piqué, your mother is not the one suffering right now. We are suffering. We are running like crazy. Your mother isn't. You fucking cunt, or something like that. And I'm like, whoa. That is not a good look. That is not a good look. I have to admit, that is not a good look. Not a good look. It's not a good look, guys. It's not a good look. Go and check that tweet. Go and check that tweet. It's not a good look. Wow. Wow, guys. Wow. I wouldn't have expected that to happen. I really wouldn't have. I wouldn't have. Wow. That is big. I want to hear it again. But in honesty, Piqué is right there. Piqué is right there. Griezmann is the one who clearly shows no intention in his ability to react and understand what is happening. Because this is happening, this shouting, this screaming, this battle is happening in minute... I want to see the minute. Oh my god, internet, don't you die on me right now. It's in minute 39. 1-1, and Piqué knows what's going to happen. And Griezmann is like, no, chill, bro, we got this. Wow. Wow, you have to watch that. You have to watch that fucking tweet, dude. Wow, it's insane. That's insane. Wow. I don't know how they got that clip, but that image, that tweet, our season is over. Our season is over because their dressing room is fucking all over the place. It's fucking all over the place. Wow, that is big. We're not gonna come back, guys. We are not gonna come back with that. We ain't gonna come back. Leo John, the tweet is in the pinned messages in the chat. Wow, that is bad. That is real bad. I can't stop watching it. I can't stop watching it. Who's shouting? I cannot. Who is shouting at the end? Like after Piqué and Griezmann fight, there's someone else shouting. I don't know who. Who is shouting? Dale, dale las marcas. Who is saying dale, dale las marcas? Who is saying that? Is that Greasy? No, is that Lenglet? Who's the last guy talking? Who's the last guy talking? I cannot make out who's the last guy talking. Is it De Jong? I don't know who's talking at the end, guys. I don't know. This is bad. It's Alba. It cannot be Alba. His voice is way more deep in a way. I think it's Lenglet. I think Lenglet is the guy. I think it's Lenglet. I think it's Lenglet because it has a French accent. I think it's Clement Lenglet who's shouting at the end. I think it is. We ain't gonna come back any fucking time soon. Okay, and this, I don't think we're gonna come back anytime soon. I don't, guys. I'm fucking terrified. I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm fucking scared because I don't know who the fuck is gonna turn this around. I don't. I would like to have the answer, but I don't. I don't. It's in the link in the pin chat. You know what? I'm gonna fucking send it to it. You know what? There, go ahead. What players do we need to fix this team? It's very hard to say. It's very hard to say. I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. I don't know because the problem is not the players. The problem is the I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I'm already starting to fight people in the comments in Twitter. So you know what, guys? I think that's the time to fucking stop. Okay, if you want me to explain what the answer is or what the translation is, it's because saying we're not having any single long time of possession. We are not having lapses of possession in this game. And then Griezmann says, "Calm down, Piqué, calm down." And then he goes like, "Fuck your mom." And then Piqué knows, your mom, because your mom isn't suffering today. We are the one running like crazy. So Griezmann wants Piqué to calm down because he thinks that's the way they will get the win, you know, if they keep their cool. And Piqué wants a reaction. Those are the two opposites. They're the two sides of a balance. That is what's happening. And I know what Forza Barsi is saying here is really good. Emotions are important, but there is something really aggressive in the way that we are fighting. I mean Barcelona. In the team, there's something that is really bothering me. Dude, they are eating this team for dinner. I don't know, dude. And here's another thing that we need to see, guys. Antoine Griezmann, only 2 hours after the debacle in the Camp Nou, gets a private flight and flies away from Barcelona. Griezmann leaves Barcelona 2 hours after what happened. I don't know what is the situation. I don't know what happened, but the only reason why you're able to leave this is because for 2 reasons. Because someone in your family needs your help, or that's the only reason. That's the only reason. If someone in your family needs help, that's the only fucking reason you're allowed to leave. You cannot do that. I just cannot take this anymore because we have so many different fucking ideas flying around from Barcelona fans right now, and I cannot take it anymore. I really can't. I don't really can't. It's time. It's time, honestly. It's honestly the thing is time. And with that, guys, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna do way more videos on this, guys. We're gonna be covering this a lot more. We're gonna be doing a lot more on this. Where I'm gonna be planning videos after right now I shut down this live stream. I'm gonna eat something because I haven't eaten all day, and we are gonna do some coverage of this because we have to analyze this to the core. So let's go ahead and let's fucking raise our chin up and let's do it. You know what? Let's be together and make this a good moment. You know what? Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Chin up, and let's do it. So yeah. With this being said, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us in this disastrous moment once again. And I'll see you in the next one. Remember to like, subscribe. And yeah, bye guys. Take care. Follow me on Twitter. We can talk on there more. Follow me on Twitter right now. If you don't follow me on fucking Twitter, there are more people watching this live stream that I have followers on Twitter. So there are some of you who are not following me there. Go and follow me there. See you in the next one, guys. Take care. Have a good night. Enjoy something. Do something that you enjoy for today. So just you just don't are fucking depressed. And moving on.